She walked onto my property with a tape measure, pointed directly at my fence, and said, "This is public land. You don't own this." I laughed right out loud at the absurdity, but she certainly didn't find it funny at all. Within 48 hours, she had filed a formal complaint with the HOA, called the city, was knocking loudly on my door with a printed violation notice. She had aggressively made herself at home. But she didn't count on my plan. I already had a certified land survey ready, and it was about to end her entire argument in writing permanently, with my name clearly stamped on every single inch of it. Stay right there, because you need to see what happened next. Welcome back to HOA Drama Neighbor, the channel where real property disputes, real documents, and real consequences play out in real time. I'm your host, and today's story is one of my personal favorites because it has everything: an overconfident HOA enforcer, a land survey, and the most satisfying paper trail you will ever witness. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because you're going to want every single episode of what we do here. Let's get right into it. My name is not important. What is important is that I have owned my home for 11 years. 11 long years. I have paid my mortgage, maintained my lawn, and trimmed my hedges perfectly without any complaints. I never once had a single issue with any neighbor until Brenda moved in 3 doors down and somehow decided that her HOA board membership was a license to patrol the entire street like a one-woman municipal authority out there. Within 6 weeks of moving in, she had issued informal warnings to 4 different homeowners. By week 8, she had me directly in her crosshairs. It started small, but escalated much faster than I could have ever imagined. She left a handwritten note on my front door saying that my side fence was encroaching on shared community space. I thought it was a misunderstanding, so I went to her house, knocked politely, and tried to have a normal conversation. She met me at the door with a clipboard in hand. From it, she had actually made notes. She told me, and I want you to really hear this, she told me that the land between my fence and the sidewalk was completely public property. She said it was technically public property that the HOA oversees for the benefit of the community. I asked her what she was basing that claim on exactly. She confidently told me she had looked it up online the previous evening. I asked where. She said she would send me the documentation. The documentation never came because it did not exist. Now, a lot of people in my position would have panicked immediately and felt a huge amount of unnecessary stress. They would have gone home, lost sleep, and maybe even moved the fence just to avoid conflict. That is exactly why HOA power moves like this. Count on your uncertainty, your fear of confrontation, and your quiet assumption out there. They assume that the person making the accusation must have done their homework. But I had something Brenda had clearly never encountered in her enforcement crusade. I had a secret weapon sitting safely inside my home office files. I had already paid for a professional land survey when I bought this house. It was sitting in my files, certified, stamped, and dated. I knew exactly where my property ended and where public space began down to the very inch. I did not call her. I did not send an email. Instead, I went to my county assessor's website and pulled a fresh copy of my parcel map. I printed it out right away to make sure I had the most recent public records on hand. I then called my original surveyor, who still had my records on file, and asked him to write a short letter confirming the boundary lines as they appeared in the original survey. He graciously did it for me within 24 hours. I had the letter, the parcel map, the original survey documents, and a copy of my deed, all cross-referencing each other, all pointing directly to the same undeniable truth. My fence was built entirely on my private land. Not community land, not public land, my land. Meanwhile, Brenda had escalated the situation. She had gone to the full HOA board and submitted a formal complaint with her own ridiculous hand-drawn diagram of the entire block. I want to say that again. A hand-drawn diagram of properties she did not own. Based on research she could not source, filed against a homeowner who had done absolutely nothing wrong. The board, to their credit, did not act. But they did send me a formal notice saying they were looking into the matter. I responded within 72 hours with a certified letter containing every single document I had, along with a politely worded explanation of the lines. I explained what a property survey is, what a parcel record is, and why neither of those things supported Brenda's claim in any way whatsoever. Now, here is the exact moment where the entire story gets incredibly interesting. At the next HOA meeting which I attended, because if you're ever in a property dispute, you attend every single meeting, Brenda presented her case. She had printed photos, and she had printed her ridiculous little diagram. She had printed what appeared to be a screenshot of something from the internet that she believed supported her position. The board president asked her directly if she had any official legal documents to support the case. She said the documents were forthcoming. I then stood up, calmly placed my packet of certified materials on the table, and let the board review them. The entire room was completely quiet for a long, heavy moment. And then the board president said 4 words that I will remember for the rest of my life: "This matter is closed." Brenda did not take it well at all. She immediately started arguing that the survey could be wrong. She argued that property lines had shifted over the years. She argued that the HOA had the authority to override deed records, which I need to stress to everyone watching that they absolutely do not have the power to do. She then demanded a second opinion from a surveyor of her choosing. The board told her that if she wanted to hire a surveyor at her own expense, she was welcome to do so, but that no action would be taken against me. To date, no second survey has been requested, because deep down, even Brenda knew what the result would be. So what is the lesson here for every homeowner? The lesson is that documentation always wins these battles. The lesson is that confident accusations are not the same as correct ones. The lesson is that when someone tells you that your property is not yours, the most powerful thing you can do is pull out paperwork. A land survey is not just a document. It is a weapon of truth, and in a property dispute, truth is the only thing that matters. I did not yell. I did not threaten anyone. I did not lose my composure a single time. I let the paper do the talking, and the paper was louder than anything Brenda could have ever said. If you are a homeowner and you do not have a land survey on file, please look into getting one immediately after this. It is one of the best investments you can make in the security of your property. Check with your county assessor's office first, because in many cases, your parcel boundaries are already safely on record for you. They are accessible online for free. If you purchased your home and had a survey done at closing, dig out those documents right now and keep them somewhere you can find them quickly whenever you need them down the road. You never know when a Brenda with a clipboard is going to show up at your fence line and change your entire week. If this video helped you, or if you have been through something similar, drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. Hit the like button if you believe property rights matter, and subscribe to HOA Drama Neighbor so you never miss an episode. New real stories go up every single week on this channel. Share this with any homeowner who needs to know. Your land survey is your absolute superpower. I will see you in the very next battle, right here on this channel. Subscribe to HOA Drama Neighbor for more.